Hi there, I'm Kyle, and welcome to Bedtime Verses with Kyle. Just a little poetry to help you get ready for bed. If you want to see the full videos, you can head over to my YouTube, at the Kyle Derry. Okay, today we have some stuff from The Fairy Queen by Edmund Spenser. He was a contemporary of Shakespeare. Let's see, I think it's just a bit earlier. 1552 to 1599, so he died a little before Shakespeare. Died in 1616. And I think he's one of the best poets of all time. He wrote this immense tome called The Fairy Queen. It's about 300,000 words, and it was in honor of Queen Elizabeth, but it's set in sort of this pseudo-Arthurian mythological setting. So we're going to read a few excerpts from that. And today we're going to start with The Cave of Despair. Here we go. The Cave of Despair. Ere long they come, where that same wicked wight his dwelling has, low in a hollow cave, far underneath a craggy cliff ypight, dark, doleful, dreary like a greedy grave, that still for carrion carcasses doth crave. On top whereof I dwelt the ghastly owl, shrieking his baleful note which ever drave, far from that haunt all other cheerful fowl, and all about it wandering ghosts did wail and howl. And all about old stalks and stubs of trees, whereon nor fruit nor leaf was ever seen, did hang upon the ragged rocky knees, on which had many wretches hanged been, whose carcasses were scattered on the green, and thrown about the cliffs. Arrived there, that barehead knight for dread and doleful teen would fain have fled, ne durst approach near, but the other forced him stay, and comforted in fear. That darksome cave they enter, where they find that cursed man, low sitting on the ground, musing full sadly in his sullen mind. His greasy locks, long grown and unbound, disordered hung about his shoulders round, and hid his face, through which his hollow eyne looked deadly dull, and stared as astound. His raw-boned cheeks through penury and pine were shrunken to his jaws, as he did never dine. His garment naught but many ragged clouts, with thorns together pinned and patched was, the which his naked sides he wrapped about, and him beside there lay upon the grass a dreary corse, whose life away did pass, all wallowed in his own yet lukewarm blood, that from his wound yet welled fresh, alas, in which a rustic knife fast fixed stood, and made an open passage for the gushing flood. Which piteous spectacle, approving true the woeful tale that Trevisan had told, when as the gentle Red Cross knight did view, with fiery zeal he burned in courage bold, him to avenge before his blood were cold, and to the villain said, Thou damned wight, the author of this fact we here behold, what justice can but judge against thee right, with thine own blood to price his blood, here shed in sight? What frantic fit, quoth he, hath thus distraught thee, foolish man, so rash a doom to give? What justice ever other judgment taught, but he should die who merits not to live? None else to death this man despairing drive, but his own guilty mind deserving death. Is then unjust to each his due to give, or let him die that loatheth living breath, or let him die at ease that liveth here uneath? Who travels by the weary wandering way, to come unto his wished home in haste, and meets a flood that doth his passage stay, is not great grace to help him overpast, or free his feet that in the mire stick fast. Most envious man, that grieves at neighbour's good, and fond, that joyest in the woe thou hast, why wilt not let him pass that long hath stood upon the bank, yet wilt thyself not pass the flood? He there does now enjoy eternal rest, and happy ease, which thou dost want and crave, and further from it daily wanderest. What if some little pain the passage have, that make frail flesh to fear the bitter wave? Is not short pain well borne, that brings long ease, and lays the soul to sleep in quiet grave? Sleep after toil, port after stormy seas, ease after war, death after life does greatly please. The knight much wondered at his sudden wit, and said, The term of life is limited, ne may a man prolong nor shorten it. The soldier may not move from watchful stead, nor leave his stand until his captain bed. Who life did limit by almighty doom, quoth he, knows best the terms established, and he that points the sentinel his room doth license him depart at sound of morning droom. Is not his deed, whatever thing is done, in heaven and earth, did not he all create, to die again, all ends that was begun? Their times in his eternal book of fate are written sure, and have their certain date. Who then can strive with strong necessity, that holds the world in his still changing state, or shun the death ordained by destiny? When hour of death is come, let none ask whence nor why. The longer life I wot the greater sin, the greater punishment. All those great battles which thou boast'st to win, through strife and bloodshed and avengement, now praised, hereafter dear thou shalt repent. For life must life, and blood must blood repay. Is not enough thy evil life forspent? For he that once hath missed the right way, the further he doth go, the further he doth stray. Then do no further go, no further stray, but here lie down, and to thy rest betake, ill to prevent that life ensuen may. For what hath life that may it loved make, and gives not rather cause it to forsake? Fear, sickness, age, loss, labor, sorrow, strife, pain, hunger, cold, that makes the heart to quake, and ever fickle fortune rageth rife, all which and thousands more do make a loathsome life. Don't do it! Don't lay down! Don't listen to him! He's a bad dude! Okay, that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining me for Bedtime Verses with Kyle. You can follow me here on my YouTube or my website. There'll be new readings every weekday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night. Sleep tight.